Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. So I was speaking to a client and we're talking about scheduling sex and how you'd come to an issue with scheduling sex when you're talking to his partner. They've been speaking about things for a few weeks. They actually agreed that they have a problem and they've got a realignment on what sex should look like for their relationship. So it's something that they agree that they need more frequency with, and that she actually enjoys it when they do, but then they just have that discomfort of navigating towards it. So there's a bit of parts of him where he needs to work on his attraction and seduction game, but at the same time there's also parts of it where there's this thinking around being spontaneous, where women want this sort of romantic view, they take a romantic view to it, or where, for some reason the stars align and there's music in the background and then everything slows down. And to be fair, that's the job of seduction and attraction, to be fair. But and before then, when you've really got it down packed, you still have to be working towards it. In fact, for attraction to work, she has to have some sort of desire, or at least a desire to respond to an action of seduction or attraction. And therefore, if in her mind spontaneity is only, if there's the indicators of doing something from a spontaneous perspective, if those markers are not being hit by the attraction or seduction, then you're more likely not to have it. And this sort of spontaneity thing becomes more of a hindrance to you trying to get your relationship back on track. So it becomes very, very, very important to really not focus on this spontaneity of the actual seduction or arousal or the act of sex, but it becomes more important on the real scheduling around it and how to get better and approaching those sexual interactions in a way that is collaborative. So, and a lot of that is under the umbrella of scheduling, because I was saying to him when we were talking about this, and I was preparing him for the conversation around this. I was saying to him that he needs to ask the question whether, if she was going for a skiing trip, and I'm saying skiing trip because a lot of my friends in America right now have traveled to Colorado, where there's a lot of, apparently there's some skiing resorts over there. So if when you signed up for that holiday, you looked at the location and then the time period that you're going to as well, and then based on that time period you looked at the weather, and then you know that you're most likely going to get winter weather, for example. So you're going to get snow, loads of snow, so you have to pack snow clothes and so on. And it's the same thing, because if you decided to book for the skiing trip, but you just decided to go into drawers and just empty all of them into your bag, while you have clothes, they might not be the appropriate clothes for the place that you're traveling to and appropriate for the weather that you might be experiencing. So you see what I'm saying, that when it comes to scheduling, it opens the conversation around the intention of what you're doing. So for example, if you're scheduling for the weekend and Saturday is your time that you'll be doing it, so it means that from Monday to Friday you're doing things that will get you to that place where you show up in a place where you're more receptive for sexual interaction, where you're more open to having those kind of interactions. Now, again, it also opens the conversation around the energy expenditure. So what does that mean? It means that where am I using my energy more, and how is that impacting the time when we're supposed to be scheduling for sex? So for example, if she's watching a lot of Real Housewives and she's spending a lot of time on social media, and we know that from history it causes anxiety and stress and depression, then she's most likely not to want to turn up and have that sexual interaction with you. So again, it now opens a conversation on, okay, how do we allow our time that we spend by ourselves and together, how do we allow that to be more intentional towards that thing that we've scheduled? Because if sex is an afterthought, then she's just going to use energy expenditure. By the time when sex comes and then she's now having to perform it, it's going to feel like duty sex, and it's going to be pretty shit, because over a period of time, while you are aligned on the fact that you want to be more sexual, you want to do more things together, it becomes a thing where you're now compounding on the problem, because it's coming from this negative cycle within your mind. So you have to get to that point where when you're scheduling, it's not enough just to schedule the time, but you now have to be intentional on, the time when you're spending an attraction, the time that you're spending in seduction. So even gauging a response, how is she responding? Is her lack of response based off of some of the daily inputs that she's doing? And if that's affecting, that's another conversation, like, babe, I think this thing is now affecting us. So I know that you like this show, and I mean, of course, you're not going to tell your partner how they're supposed to live their life, but it's your place to point out some of the things that might be causing stress and harm. So for example, if she has a phone conversation every single day with Kathy, the gossiper, and they're gossiping and they're talking about these negative cycles, and she always walks away from that phone call angry or upset, or feels like a sense of like people are talking about her or whatever. If it's causing negativity and it takes time and it allows her to use energy expenditure inside anxiety or stress, all of that, it becomes something that you need to be talking about and getting it to guards that time, because when she turns up to your time where it's allocated for your scheduled time, she's going to always show up she'll show up in a mindset that won't allow her to give the best performance, or at least get a lot more out of that interaction. And when she doesn't, it then confirms why she shouldn't be having sex, because it's a negative thing. And again, she will complain that it's a negativity based off of your relationship, but she's brought that mindset where she's already defeated by life or other things that are happening within her life as well. So when it comes to scheduling, these are some of the things that you have to be considering as you're moving things forward. So hopefully this has been massively helpful for you guys. I couldn't wait to sit down somewhere quietly. So I am driving safely, by the way. I am driving and recording at the same time. So I apologize for the background noise, but I think before I lost the trail of thought, one was for me to record something that I can remember, but at the same time it was a way of me giving you some information when it comes to scheduling your sexual interactions with your partner. So thank you very much. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.